Oh man, so Bitcoin sitting at 38,800 mark at the time of recording has just met one of our objectives to tick off on the way to a reversal. So we're going to look at the Bitcoin chart to see if finally we're prepared for a reversal. We're also going to look at the Solana chart because Solana is recovering very nicely, up 14%, and further testament to our narrative when I said at the end of last year that the narrative in Q1 of 2022 and maybe going into Q2 will be good, solid layer one solutions. We're going to cover off Solana, see whether that's a good opportunity to pick up some Solana on this dip as it's recovering very fast, still a solid project, and we'll take a look at that. But first, on Bitcoin, what are we seeing? You can see on this daily chart, we're getting a good set of days, right? They're not the most explosive set of candles, but we're slowly starting to recover. We're having fights with the bears in every single one of these candles, which you can see by how big the wicks are on these candles, suggesting we're having a good fight on every single one of these support and resistance levels. But so far, so good. The bulls are starting to gain some momentum. And if we head on over and take a look at the major indices, we can see the Dow Jones is fighting to stay green today, as is the S&P and as is the Nasdaq, but we're heading in the right direction. The markets are starting to understand that, this could just all be overcooked and a bunch of nothing burger ultimately. And the fact that interest rates are priced in, we're expecting a 0.25% interest rate hike on March the 16th. And therefore, do we really justify these cheap valuations on some of our favorite tech stocks, crypto and altcoins, right? Why is it justified, or is it an overreaction? Slowly, we're starting to see that reflect in the charts here by this good recovery here on Bitcoin. But the question now remains, can we still get thrown to the downside? Can this still? Because if we zoom out here, you can see here on the daily chart, we still have long-term downward trend, right? You can see, if you take these peaks, you can see we're still in a very long downward trend all the way to the downside, and we need to break out from that pattern and head to the upside. And at the moment, this could just be our relief rally before being thrown to the downside. But what I am going to show you is if we head into the 4-hourly chart, you will see that the critical level which we said we had to win was this 38,405 level. And you can see we've now gotten above that level, okay, which, remember, using that as the top of a triangle, the 38,405 level, plus this, you can see we were almost trading in a triangle, and now we've got our impulse to the upside. We've technically got a breakout through that horizontal resistance. Now, don't be surprised. I'm going to show you on the hourly because you can get a bit more better granularity here. But don't be surprised if what we see is a retest, right? So we've got our breakout. It's a tentative one, but maybe we have to retest the 405 level before then heading towards 40,000. And the 40,000 mark is now our next key level. Remember, when we got thrown down to the downside from 43,479, it happened very fast and very quickly. Therefore, we can recover this equally as quickly as well, okay? And you can see our technical price target from our triangle pattern, the measured move, would suggest 43,000 here on the technical breakout from this triangle, right? This triangle will forming along the 38,405 level. So definitely want to keep an eye on this. But more importantly, we know we're being correlated to the S&P, and we know we're being correlated to the Nasdaq as well. So let's see if I can pull up the S&P right now. Let's just keep going here. There we go. There's your SPY. Let's pull up the SPY index. And as you can see, guys, if we pull this out and head over to the daily, what do you see? Well, you see that the SPY has had a massive fall here. So I was plotting this chart a long time ago for some of the stocks we were doing. You can see these are what normal corrections look like, right? These little dips down, which I've circled here. Look at this, guys. Let's take that measured move. And now we'll understand that what's happening is not Bitcoin reflective. All the way to the bottom there, you're looking at a 12% retracement here on the S&P. Currently, we've managed to recover some of that. It's now a 6% drop from the all-time highs, and definitely some work to do to start getting back to those all-time highs on S&P. So that gives us the confidence that this was not crypto-related. This was not a failing in Bitcoin or crypto. What happened was very simple, and I said this throughout the videos for those of you watching. This was simply a risk-off move. The markets went to risk off due to a panic around interest rate hikes as a result of inflation and as a result of the market overheating, because the labor market was looking strong, inflation was there, and the markets got spooked about interest rates. Now that it's started to calm down, we can slowly see risk starting to come back on. People are going, hang on a second, we know interest rates are going up. The only fear that can now come in is if we see a double rate hike in March, which would be a 0.5% interest rate hike versus a 0.25. That's the only fear happening right now, as well as if the if the FOMC and the Fed chairman Jerome Powell decides to shrink his balance sheet any quicker, right, which is balance sheet shrinkage, when he sells those assets back into the market. Think of that as hoovering up a bunch of money, with all that money he just printed. He's going to hoover it up. How quickly is he going to hoover it up? That's what the market is spooked about. But overall, we're starting to see that as the S&P bounces here, as the S&P bounces from its 200 moving average here, 200-day moving average, got a good bounce here, heading to the upside. This suggests we now have a big move and big potential to run to our all-time highs in a risk-on move. And in a risk-on move, some of our favorite tech stocks and therefore favorite cryptos and altcoins can benefit from that too. An example of this right now, which I can share with you today, is Solana, because Solana is up 14% today, 14%. And this was an example of a coin which was super hot. Everybody was interested in it. And then it took a massive hit. And when Bitcoin was going down, we saw some of our other ones, such as Phantom, holding up pretty well. But Solana was an example of something that just got wrecked to the downside side, 69%. This is almost like a crypto winter bear market territory retracement. This is serious retracement. If you held this to the downside, you would have felt the pain here. But now, 14% pump today. Now that retracement doesn't look as bad. It's 57%, given the uplift we've had to the downside. If we take a look at just over the last few days, if you were picking up Solana on some of these dips, let's take a look, see if we can measure that move from the downside. If you managed to pick it up from the downside to where we're at now, you would have just gained 37% on your Solana just through picking up this project. And this is what I want to teach you guys. This is what I want to show you guys, is wealth is built in these moments. Trust me, I was making videos and covering Solana when people were FOMOing in up here. I was lucky enough to buy Solana in the mid-20s, mid-20s, up to about 29. I stopped buying Solana, and then I benefited from this run-up. And loads of people were FOMOing in all the way up here, guys. Trust me. People were FOMOing in the 180s, and then again on this run-up here, all the way in the 250s. But what about now? What is changing your fundamental conviction, right? This is the key. Now, you got to weigh up the risk and the reward. For me, Solana, there are other great projects out there as well. My reservations with Solana at this point are the fact that a lot of VCs do hold it. A lot of VCs do hold it. They made a lot of money on this, because if I've made quite a bit on Solana, trust me, these VCs got in much earlier than I did. They're sitting on a lot of unrealized profit right now. And if you know anything about VCs, they're looking to dump and move on to the next project, okay? So that's something in the back of my head where I don't want to make my Solana position too overweight, but I want to keep it within the parameters set for my portfolio. So I continue to add at areas in retracements down to the downside. These were great moments to buy. Still is a good moment for me to buy, in my opinion. If I bring out the EMA ribbon here, you can still see what this candle takes you up to our EMA ribbon. But Solana's got a lot of work to flip its EMA bullish again, and really it's got to break through this longer term white resistance line before we can start talking about getting to some of our highs. Don't forget, you've got the important resistance coming at 199 as well, and we're sitting quite far off that, okay? So first got to get through our EMA ribbon, a lot of work to do there, break through this white resistance here, and then we can start building towards 199 and then look at all-time highs on Solana. Overall, we still know it's a great project, right? Yes, they've had their hacks, they've had a few issues here and there, but overall, we still know it's a good project, good backers, good VC money in it, which can be a double-edged sword. But definitely the narrative is still there. The layer one solutions with good amounts of total value locked continue to be the flavor of the day and continue to be where money is flowing into. And that's what we need to identify right now, guys. We're in a market which has just retraced heavily. And when it retraces heavily, what happened was people take money out of the market. They're waiting for a bottom. They're so scared that they don't want to hold that through the bottom. They want to time their entry back in. Now they're looking for clues of the bottom. And we've just monitored that on the Bitcoin chart. We looked at SPY. We're looking at Solana now. We're looking for that bottom. Is this the bottom? That's their multi-million-dollar question, right? They're going to start FOMOing in. And the question is, will the market give you a bit of a bear trap where it tricks you into thinking that's the bottom and it throws you back down, or is it actually the bottom? But when the actual bottom comes in, you will see a whole bunch of money come back into the market in the high conviction plays. And that's what we need to keep an eye on right now, is we will see money, and we need to identify which coins are moving at a faster rate than Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is moving a couple of percent up, I've always given you guys this golden nugget. Look down the list, go down CoinMarketCap or whatever you use, and find the coins which are moving at a multiple of a rate. Trust me, those are the ones where institutions, where funds, where sophisticated retail money is waiting to pile in on those ones, okay? So they're just eager to get out of the blocks on those coins. So there you go, guys. There's a blend of technical and fundamental analysis on Solana and also the wider crypto market in terms of Bitcoin. Overall, we're in a much better place than where we were just a week or so ago when we were sitting down at 32, worried whether we were going to lose 32, and God forbid if we fell below 29, we would have been in a long-term, lower low bear market crypto winter. Right now, things are looking okay. It seems like it's a bit of a retracement in a wider bull run. That's what it almost feels like right now. We just need to see whether we can hold this level, push through 40,000 on Bitcoin, and maintain some movement. This is going to rely on the stock market doing really well. It needs to hold up to keep risk on. If the stock market decides to fall back down again, there's some more nervousness or panic, or something happens with a war or geopolitics or anything else, or a high inflation reading comes out, then we can see further retracements to the downside. But until then, we need the stock market to rally, and we need risk to start to come back on so we can see some of our favorite coins move. As always, guys, if you appreciate this type of content, don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, don't forget to comment below and really be part of this community. We've also got NordVPN, guys. If you haven't got yourself set up on VPN, NordVPN were very kind to help this community out and offer us 70% off on 2-year plans plus a month for free, guys. VPNs aren't the most expensive things in the world, guys, but trust me, it's super important. If you're trading, you're staking, you're yield farming, you've got your wallet set up and you're playing around in crypto and you don't have a VPN set up, that's dangerous, guys. You've got to get yourself set up on a VPN. I personally use NordVPN, which is why I'm recommending them to you guys. Head over in the link below, use coupon code ALLMAN, get yourself safe, and then you do have that peace of mind when you're playing around with your crypto. As always, guys, head into the Discord, link in the pinned comment below. Shout out, tag me in there, say hi, meet the community, learn about crypto, and be part of this community, which is not about pumping. It's not about saying, oh, look, Solana to the moon, Phantom to the moon. Not what this channel is about. I share the research I'm doing with you guys, and if you appreciate that, make sure you support the channel, be part of the community, and let's help each other out on this journey that is crypto. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.